So you all know that Rwanda has 4G LTE technology deployed across the country. The numbers indicate that we have 95% of the population now accessing the technology. If you look on this map, you have 4 rings where operationally this technology is deployed. At least 95% of the population can access this technology at the moment as we speak. But this, you see here, is a fiber buried under the ground. We're talking about this kind of stuff that carries the technology, the connectivity across the country. As we speak now, we have a gentleman who has been behind this technology. That is Mr. Patrick, the CEO of Korea Telecom, and would like to have a deep understanding of what is happening across the country with this infrastructure.
We are doing more than 130 years of the telecom business experience. Once we have a first discussion with the government of Rwanda, we thought how to approach African market, because Africa, frankly speaking, is some underdeveloped. If we following what the other countries have been done, then we never overtake them. So we should think new business model, which is a fully adapt African market or African business environment. So 2013, based on those kind of the concept, 2013, His Excellency of the President of Rwanda and our chairman signed the agreement to launch 4G wholesale business model, which is unique in the world. And then 2014, we start the construction of the 4G network. And then 2015, our coverage became 26%. And I think that 2016, we launched first 4G on mobile with Tigo. And the last year became 62% to cover. And now this year, we complete national coverage of the 4G LTE network, which is 95% of the population can be covered by 4G network. So I think that this is the first time to have a whole national 4G LTE network coverage in Africa continent. Even there are only small number of countries in the world to have such a national coverage of the 4G network. So this is a really the good achievement for the Rwanda. Based on this kind of very high fast of the wireless network, we can have the high and bigger possibility to develop country based on this the ICT infrastructure.
Is it, like you have said before, is it commercially viable for a country to have 95% access?
Yes.
Does it make economic sense?
Yes, at the moment, I should say at the moment, because, for example, where I come from, where is your hometown?
Kigali.
Oh, okay, it's not a proper question. Okay, if the person is coming from maybe Kirehe, right? The person who access internet is a low number than Kigali residents, right? But we are now full cover on all nationwide. But from the company's point of view, our operation cost in Kigali and the operation cost in Kirehe is the same, even though the usage of the BTS is much difference. So all the other countries are doing the place who has more than high usages, then they put more BTS. But now our the strategies, we should provide all nationwide, and any person who would like to access 4G is possible now. Then we are thinking the way around. We ready for hardware, then we should develop some software and services. So, for example, because it should be interactive, as I mentioned that this, what the meaning of the national coverage of the 4G is, we can resolve inequality of the education level from rural and urban areas. For example, urban areas, teachers, simply I can say the quality of the lecturing is a little bit higher than rural, right? So if we have a connect through 4G wireless connectivity from urban school and rural schools, then the rural student can be receive the same quality of the lecture who is doing in urban schools. So that is, I cannot say exactly the same, but at least resolve some inequality of the education level. 3G is launching around 2011, and the 4G is launching, or as I mentioned, 2014, we start construction of the 4G LTE network. But in terms of, you say, the price, I think we are lowest 4G price in all Africa continent.
How?
Because we are wholesaler, we are not taking much bigger margin. We are charging very minimum margin.
Range.
Yes.
What's the cost now?
At the moment, that's why I'm saying the cost is much higher than the revenue, because we have more than 470 BTS now. We are putting more BTS now. But as I mentioned, there's some the rural areas BTS. The usage is very, very small compared to some the big cities like Kigali, Musanze, Rubavu, Rusiji.
In normal, in a layman's language, 400 BTS means what?
470 BTS means, okay, so for example, if we are covering in major cities, maybe 250 BTS will be enough. But our target is all nationwide, and because of the president of the Rwanda, he is strongly request all the household of the Rwanda should have three main utilities. One is power, clean water, and wireless broadband. So that's why we deployed all 4G network to nationwide.
I can see you're hesitant to mention the price. On average, on the African market, what's the cost of one gig?
Oh no, we cannot say it's average because every country has a different. It's a big differences. But we can say what is a 1 GB per day. 1 GB, for example, the 4G LTE price. Then we can compare. For example, we are selling 1 GB per day for 1 month means we are providing 30 GB. 30 GB is depends on ISP, but it's from 24,000 till 30,000. It depends on ISP,
okay,
right? But as I understand, currently 3G 1 GB per day in Rwanda, they are selling 21,000. 21,000. So 3G, which is, I don't know what's the speed, but I don't want to compare, but I think the 4G network is much faster than 3G.
On average, 4G.
So the price of differences between 3G and 4G, only 3,000 francs are differences.
Okay. But 1 gig of 4G LTE is about between 800 and 1,000. 1 gigabyte.
Yes, that is a daily bundle.
Okay. On average in other countries, how far can it go?
Maybe $3, $4.
What about in South Korea?
South Korea.
Where you come from?
Yes. I don't know. I should check.
Can it go up to $3? Or
yes, I think the higher than our price here.
So the cost of 4G LTE in Rwanda is lower than that of.
Yes.
Okay. So tell me, what in terms of consumption? How many people on your network consume 4G?
I think that you know our status. We are wholesaler. We do not have a work with end customer. So, but I can say we are consuming around 300 terabyte. We are generate total traffic of the 4G is around 300 terabyte.
Per day.
No, I mean per month.
Combined. Oh, okay.
1 month we are create around 300 terabyte, which is a really big traffic.
Oh, you said 95% of the population can access.
Yes.
But what's the percentage of the population or users that are current users, active users?
No, as I mentioned, that our customer is our ISPs.
They don't give you data? You don't know the range of users?
No.
Really?
Yes.
You don't ask them?
We are asking, but somehow it's their customers, so they don't want to disclose these numbers.
Okay. Tell me one more thing. What can people do with 4G LTE? An ordinary person.
How can I say? There are so many ways to use the 4G, and there are so many high possibility to bring more values on my life. It's just to explain about the inequality of the education. But for example, medical services, I don't know how many hospitals in Kigali, how many hospitals in, for example, Kirehe. It's a big different numbers. But if we connect with the hospital and Kirehe district office, then Kirehe district office becoming general hospital.
There's two options. There's 4G, 3G. And then that is on the data side. And then there's voice. If I was to make choices so that I can manage my finances, my spending, and also receive good quality service. I can make phone calls, I can consume data, and at a lower price. What would you recommend? Just ordinary person.
So ordinary person, yes. Of course, I would like to recommend the 4G. There is a couple of reasons. First, in terms of the economical reasons. If I'm using 3G, I should buy the voice. But the person are using the 4G, there are many ways to use the voice. WhatsApp, even the messengers and the Vibers. There are many applications. And that is unlimited without any payment. Right. Second, if you are just browsing and searching the website, I think the 3G is also enough. But if you are looking at the movies, then the 3G is not enough. And I think that I should say is time and the payment is different. But as I mentioned that the 3G and 4G, the price difference is not big. Only 3,000 francs are different for months. Right? 21,000 in 3G, 24,000 in 4G.
Is it possible at some point in life that a gig, 1 gigabyte of 4G LTE could go down from 1,000 to way below?
No, now we are selling the 1,000 1 GB in 4G.
Is it possible at some point for this price to go down?
No, I mean we are now selling 1,000 Rwanda franc per 1 GB.
Is it possible at some point in life that this price can go down?
We decreased the price the last month. maybe next year.
Okay, so do you think Rwanda invested into this infrastructure at the right time, or?
Yes, it's the right time because many of the countries and coming to our company, they would like to find a way how Rwanda government made this kind of the deal, and how the KT come to Rwanda rather than coming to other big country.
Why?
Because we have a couple of the reasons. One, President of Rwanda has a very clear direction to develop the country based on ICT industry. Second, the Rwanda government and the KT has an agreement to create unique business model, which is fully adapted in African environment. And the third one, I think the third one is most important. I think that the other countries are same, but I think the Rwanda government has a very clear governance. Is more, I can say, more assured about our investment.
All the things you mentioned, are they the prerequisite of having this model to succeed?
I think that that is the most important, invite foreign investment to this country. And how to success? Now we are complete our rollout of the 4G. Then now we should develop how increase the usage of the 4G in order to develop ICT industry.
Rwanda is a shareholder in this company, right?
Yes, yes.
So can Rwanda sell this to another country?
Our company's shares.
Can this company invest in another country? Let's say go to Mali, Botswana.
It's up to agreement between shareholders.
What is your observation? You've been here for 4 years?
My personal opinion is we should do, because within short period of time, our all engineers, the Rwandan engineers, has an experience to construct 4G LTE network.
Really?
One.
Okay.
Second, within last 4 years of operations, of course, we were being support from the Finland and the Indian engineers, but we have a very high the training program. Now most of our 4G network is operated by our local engineers. I can say more than 90%.
Wow.
So we are being supported once we have some critical moment only. So, but 90% we are operated by ourselves, by our engineers.
So that 10% is administrative. So that means even if you left now, Rwandans can run it?
Yes.
100%?
Yes.
So now it is ripe for Rwanda and you, the partners, to sell this or establish this same business model to another country?
Yes, easily.
When you assess the region and the continent, you think the environment in different countries is ripe for this kind of technology?
Yes, there are many countries came and they would like to the following what we has been done. But there is, as I mentioned, that why we came to this Rwanda is because of the clean government, very clear governance, the procedures.
Is it profitable?
Very much.
How?
For example, the government is not asking any additional money. But some of the countries not. For example, I cannot say the name of the country. Even I apply, for example, working visa. I should pay only what is the law mentioned. But the other countries, I should pay additional 4,000, 5,000 for extension of my working permit, for example. But if we are looking at some of the business terms, it should be more higher than.
Assume you wanted to take this technology, let's say, to Malawi, example, or Mali. What kind of investment in terms of volume would you require for you to start this business there?
I think we should think about what kind of business condition we agreed, rather than how much we are going to invest.
Okay.
I think that is first.
So the kind of environment is like what?
Like I just mentioned, is Rwanda proposed to us. Clear governance and clear vision. Then if we have those two main, then we should think about how much we are going to invest.
You have to be honest with me. Is Africa an ideal market for this technology?
No, I mean the why we came here. We are not looking at today. We are looking at future.
Really?
Yes,
And future means what?
10
20
years.
years, 30 years?
after 10 years.
You've
After
been
10
here
years.
for 4 years now,
Yes.
and it has succeeded.
Yes. So
And
we
you've
are
already broken even
not now, but we are expecting very soon.
very soon. That means maybe this year.
No.
At some point, you want to tell me the Rwandan population or economy will behave differently from other countries?
No, I mean the Rwanda itself doesn't have any natural resources compared to the other countries. But what kind of natural resources we can say we have a 4G national coverage? Based on this, we can create a new business. We can create some new services
For both local and
overseas.
overseas?
Yes.
Tell me about overseas. How does it work? How can it work?
For example, we don't have at the moment, but for example, using 4G connectivities. We have a big building, like 8 stories the building here, Kigali Height. And how many the security guard looking at these big buildings? Maybe more than 100 guard,
Okay.
right? But if we have a 4G, we can install the CCTV and we can only the 2 or 3 guard for each floors. And they can monitor all the floors at the same time through
Yes, 100.
smartphones.
Okay.
Yes. Then how many people? Only 20 people is enough. Then what 80, less of the 80 people is going? They can do some other works. So before the 4G and after 4G, what kind of different values? In terms of the customer in this building, he is going to pay less than before.
Data business.
Yes.
That means you're creating a data society.
Yes.
Do we have a data society here yet?
I think this is creating now. For example, Irembo. That is one, the simple, but it's a kind of a data society. Data. That is all the public services available online, right? So before you would like to have some work permit or registration, you should go physically. Should visit RDB.
Yes, that helps the government to offer services. digitally.
Yes.
Okay.
Then compared to the country who doesn't have those kind of public service online, and now Rwanda,
Completely different.
totally different.
But on the overseas,
Then I have some examples. If, for example, a country doesn't have any public service online, and he would like to register his own business, he should go to the areas and the waiting and get the permission physically. But the person you are working here, you don't need to be there. You should apply it online. And then during the waiting in the outside, you can do something, another work. During get the permission. So then you can create some another business during the waiting to register your work.
you said Rwanda having this infrastructure becomes an asset as a resource. And
Yes,
can do
we can say
business
yes.
overseas.
Yes.
I want you to explain that. How can Rwanda tap into this for generating and fetching revenues?
Yes.
Overseas.
Yes. So that is we have, as I mentioned that if the other countries, I don't know, it's not the right examples, but which telecom company can operate almost 90% by local people? Now that means Rwandan people, Rwandan engineers has experience to construction for JLT within short period of time.
Okay.
That is we can say is a capability, right?
So they can be
Construction,
Hired.
operation within our Rwandan people. So if we have an agreement with the other country, we don't need to invite some other country's people. We are going to bring our engineers by ourselves, and we are being paid US dollars.
Okay.
And then they are paid back to their family.
Okay.
Which means Rwanda itself, country itself, we are getting dollars. Means we are export some other natural resources.
Does this mean that this technology is going to influence the kind of training
Yes.
offered by
Yes.
local universities?
Yes,
Really? How?
local investment, but local university, but at the moment they don't have those kind of programs.
So all the training was imported.
Import, yes, we did.
So can these local trainers be used to train
Other people's, now is possible from our engineers.
How do you see Rwanda in the next years?
Next years. At first, as I mentioned, that all the government institution is being connected by 4G, so most of the public service will be more faster than today, for example. And all the government officials are also using 4G. That means that they have the working outside of the office, which is more reasonable. And also now the new startups create some business is possible based on our fast network. Then if we are doing those kind of the new business experience, then we can the selling to other countries.